Alright, my Okan fishing friends, if you watched any of my previous videos, you know that I have not had the best year fishing trout. Done it in the past, can't seem to pull it off this year. So I got desperate. I read in, I think it was a Carolina Sportsman that said eye size makes a big difference when you're fishing. So you want to have a jig head that has big eye size. Well, I decided I'd make a jig head with big eye size. Let's go fishing googly-eyed jig heads. Let's go. Alright, our first stop is to go to Dutchman's Creek Bait and Tackle. Now, this has been in a few of my other videos. It is over by the airport off Long Beach Road, and no solicitors, okay? But once you get in, pack full of great stuff. Look at this, crabs, shrimp, all kinds of fun stuff. But what I'm looking for is jig heads, which is not hard to find because look at this, a whole wall of jig heads. The top had jig heads, and then I had to look down below and there were jig heads, and these aren't even the jig heads I was looking for. So I'd like turned around, and behind me were even more jig heads with big eyeballs on them, and that's what I'm looking for, jig heads with big eyeballs. Alright, so we went to the store and we got some jig heads, trout eye. See, these have nice big eyes on them. This is an 1/8 ounce weight, and then I got these, which is 3/16, and these eyes are even bigger. Ooh. But you know what? I got some eyes that are even bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them on there, and we're going to fish with googly eyes because I think bigger is better. Put a little drop of that there. Googly eye it up. Here we go. Oh yeah. That's going to catch me a fish right there, baby. That's the one. I got to let it dry and then I'll put the other side on. And there's the finished product. Ready to go. Oh, look at that bad boy. If he was swimming along. Jiggle, jiggle. Oh, googly, googly. That's the finished product. Alright, to start with, I went down to the ICW, down by the point, and I was just throwing the bait, the jig head with the googly eyes, and just doing this little thing, like bouncing off the bottom, reeling in real slow, and it was only seconds, and I had my first fish, and I was like, are you serious? These googly eyes are going to actually work. What do I got on here? So I reeled it up, and it was what we were looking for, a speckled trout. I haven't caught many this year, but here he was, a speckled trout. Now, I will admit, he was a little small, but I was still happy. I caught him on there's the googly eyes right there, look at him. So I threw him back. Here, he can go back in the water. Go swim, little fish, come back next year, I'll catch you then. But that's cool, caught one, and I was like, great, I got a video, right, one fish. But I threw it out again, and boom, right away, here comes another one. I'm like, are you kidding me? I haven't caught any speckled trout all year, and now I'm through this stupid googly eye thing, and I'm catching trout. Here's another one. Again, not ginormous, but poof, a speckled trout, right? Well, he's going back in the water. Catch you next year. And I figured, well, that's it. That's cool. I'm happy. I got two. But then I cast it out again, and boom, I got another one, another speckled trout. I was just having too much fun. All right, this one might have been even a little bit smaller than the other two, but I'm catching them. They seem to like the googly eyes. They're going right after it. By the way, that's the trout trick, the paddle tail that I was showed in the earlier video. So they like the trout trick, but they like the trout trick with the googly eyes even better. So next day, I decided I gotta have a winter fish, right? These trout are fun, but let me go out into Davis Canal, and man, was the tide ever low. Matter of fact, it was so low when I came back, I couldn't get back because there was no water. But I was paddling around and just kind of casting out, and I caught a blue, low tide, Davis Canal, and I got myself a blue in January on the googly-eyed trout trick. So man, all right. Oh, dropped him. Throw him back in the water. Come back when you're a little bit bigger, blue, and we'll eat you too. And then I just had to like catch my winning fish. So here it is, friends. And this is both excellent and a disappointment at the same time because I pulled in a flounder. The flounder liked the googly-eyed trout trick. But you know what? I didn't even measure him. I don't know how big he was, right? Because they're out of season. Can't keep him. Throwing him back. Disappointment, but wow. And then I snagged an oyster and I lost my googly-eyed trout trick. So that was that. Anyway, try it out. Googly-eyed trout.